Keefe D's confession.
We get so much of that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've talked about it many, many, many times.
And by the way, let me let everybody know that I have Keefe D ready to do a Keefe D sit down. Me and Keefe D gonna sit down at the round table and we're gonna discuss the
Is that right?
logistic. Huh?
I'm saying, is that right?
Yeah. He be here tonight at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, one question I do have about Keefe D confession is, why did it get leaked? Did you leak it? And that information being out there puts Keefe D in a very dangerous situation. Something that he didn't even know he was being recorded at all the entire time. So how did it become public, this confession?
So when we sat down with Keefe D, myself, the FBI, Keefe D's lawyer, we sat down under what's known as a proffer agreement, and he divulged all of the details about what took place in Las Vegas the night Tupac was shot. At that point in time, we're just going through the investigative, kind of investigative process until I retired, and I came to the realization that these crimes, the public is never going to know what we did in this investigation and the information that we attained. And so I took it upon myself to say, listen, and I went and met with Keefe D before I did it, by the way. He knew that I was releasing the information. I went to his house. We sat in my truck, and I said, here's the deal. You're never going to probably get prosecuted on this, but I'm going to expose what you did. Wow. And I said, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I'm writing a book, and I'm going to tell the story. And listen, you got a huge break on the dope case that we built against you, which was 25 to life. You're walking away on a murder. So if the punishment for you is that the public knows the truth about what you did, well, then that's just the fucking way it's going to be.
But it should have made him it shouldn't have hurt him. And that's not the part that's hurting Keefe D's situation. It's just the fact that people know that he sat down with the police and discussed his nephew. That's what's hurting him.
Yeah, well, I think it's two things that's going to hurt Keefe D for the rest of his life. One, that he got exposed as an informant, a snitch, in some way.
Not really.
However you want.
No.
Come on, man. When you're telling the police, this person killed that person.
But see, you got to look at it like this. My nephew is dead, and he took advantage of that because he was fighting 25 to life, right? He got caught with some drugs.
Yeah.
So if I can speak on this, my nephew and them, all these cats is gone. So if I can speak on that, he used that shit as a street ticket to get out of this situation.
Completely understand.
Did that. But he didn't, what fucked him up is he didn't think that Greg was going to put it out there that you told on your nephew.
And that's my point.
Now here you got a man that made it beat a 25 to life 2 times.
I thought it was a smart move on his part because he knew that no one was going to go to jail, no one's going to prison, no one's getting indicted, and I get to go home.
Exactly.
But still, I'm talking about the way the public will perceive him.
Right.
One, you told. And two, now we know for sure you killed my favorite rapper in the world.
Well, hate him for that. Hate me for that. But
when you and I speak one little negative thing about Pac, they go in on us.
They do.
Now imagine how they're feeling about Keefe D.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
So you kind of put him out there on those two things, which
I did.
which could actually get him killed if he's not careful.
Yeah, and I'm not sorry I did it. You know, he's who he is. I told him what I was going to do. His response was, "Oh, fuck it then. I'm a gangster. I'll handle that shit." That's exactly what he told me. And said, "Okay, well, that's your decision. That's your life. That's you. Go do you." I'm telling the world what the fuck happened because this story is more important than you. In fact, I think this story is more important than your life.
So what was your process of getting that out to the public? Who did you turn to, and how did we all learn about this confession?
So I ended up getting a guy that was a professional writer, and we sat down and I said, would you like to collaborate on this? And he said, yeah. And I got a publishing contract with Random House, and we wrote the rough draft, and then Random House got it, and they read what was in the book, and they're like, we ain't publishing this, man. We ain't doing pointing some fingers at Puffy Combs. His office is right across the street from ours. We're not having that. He's very litigious, and he's just going to not, appreciate what you're saying about him in this book. It's like, all right, well, I've got this material, and I know that I can defend it, and I think that when Puffy reads it, he's going to know it's true anyways, and that I wasn't in fear of being sued, and so I published it, and it ran its course. Yeah, so Murder Rap, you can find it on Amazon.com, anywhere where books are sold. You can download it. There's a digital version, and then of course that led to a documentary that's likely titled also Murder Rap, and then there's a series that's kind of loosely based on the book called Unsolved. It was on on Netflix last year.
I binge watched that a few months ago. It was pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. I mean, you go one episode into the next episode, and it was well done.
Good, thanks. Yeah, I thought so too.
That was USA, right? USA?
Originally it was USA, and then Netflix picked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where can people find you? Are you on social media, on the internet, website?
Man, I'm so easy to find. I've got a Facebook page, and people ask me questions on Twitter. I just throw my email out there, so I'm always around and available to answer questions because I put myself out there, and so now I have to deal with the responsibility of that. And if people have questions, and nothing's off the table, because I feel that information is power.
Sure is.
And
Sure
when
is.
people want to have closure, or they want to find out what took place with these two gentlemen, I'm going to do everything I can to get those facts straight.
Gangsta Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes. If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Gangsta